Mini, mini, mini. Mini, mini, mini.
You are now listening to the sounds of DJ Rob and Sapphire. Welcome to the KonnecT.
What up, what up, what up, world?
Hello, world. How have you been? I'm Sapphire Hope Wonder.
I'm DJ Rod, delectable, delightful, wonderful. DJ Rod.
And this is the KonnecT Show on Wu-Tang Radio.
That's KonnecT Show with the K, by the way.
That is KonnecT. You're like a little kid. That's all extra hype. That's KonnecT Show. But that is true. It is with a K. Because I've said that literally. I've watched people still try to put a C in as I tell them it's with a K. And they're like...
I mean, you know, I think that says more about the type of people you be around than it is actually the
well, I'm around you
situation.
So
you know, well, you used to be my bestie, but you know, due to some unfortunate incidences, you know,
my money. Yeah.
They,
you know what the unfortunate circumstances.
I have
were.
to pay a debt to be her friend. Ain't that
no,
something?
it's not that you got to pay a debt to be my friend.
She remind me of Donald Trump.
No, you should remind yourself of Judge Mathis, because when you owe somebody some money, you need to pay it.
Judge, I can say Judge, that sounds like a crackhead move. Oh, is that Joe Brown that was saying crackhead move?
No, that was Judge Mathis. He quick to say that, and I know a player when I see one. You trying to be a player, and it's not even working out for you.
All right, so, you know, it's another wonderful day in the neighborhood on the KonnecT Show. We are going to start off with some unfortunate incidents. One that happened in Alpharetta,
Where's
Georgia.
Alpharetta? Oh,
it's right outside of Atlanta. And
this is the second time. Remember we did that video was it last week or the week before about Marietta?
Was it the Waffle House in there, I think? No, that was in Alabama.
Nope. It was the Waffle House. No, that was in Alabama. Yeah. But something happened in Marietta. Oh, that's when he told the white lady that they only shoot black people.
Yeah,
that the cops only shoot black people.
Yeah. So we're going to go into this first video, and I must warn people that it's shocking as a 65-year-old black woman, and just check out how they treat her.
Oh goodness.
Come out for him. All right. Come on out. Come on out. Move away from me. Hey, man. You're not in charge. Shut the up and get out of the car. Yeah. Who are you talking to? What's your name? Calm down. Calm down. What's your name? It's Officer Rag. Are you the supervisor? Are you the supervisor? Man, I'm going to listen to you. Come on.
That's right, baby.
Where's the supervisor? All right, where's the supervisor? The white girl. Where's the supervisor?
They claim she struck the officer with the door.
Supervisor, I need your supervisor. No bad for you. Look at that. I've been calling it for 10 minutes. I want the supervisor now. I want my supervisor. I want the supervisor now.
That's right. Ask for the supervisor, baby. So what happened ultimately? Because it says that they arrested her because she was veering into another lane and didn't signal, and she didn't want to sign a traffic ticket.
Well, actually, they again, she asked for the supervisor, and because she didn't quite understand that in Atlanta County, you have to sign your ticket. She wasn't signing the ticket because she felt like she didn't do anything wrong. So she said she wanted to speak to the supervisor. And as we know, they don't look at us as humans. So it escalated from there because all they had to do was call the supervisor. She's an elderly woman. She don't quite understand. You're not explaining it to her.
She's 65. Like, how much of a threat? It was like 5 cops.
6. It was 6 cops. And the one cop that just came out of nowhere and interjected himself into the video and, you know, tell her to shut the F up and all that, he actually retired under pressure. But in his retirement letter, he stated, I quote, "I didn't do anything wrong. Then why the hell are you retiring?"
And you know what? Then let me talk to your grandma. If you didn't do nothing wrong, where's your grandma at? And let me talk to her reckless and then see how it goes down.
And that's why I wanted to start with this story, because it goes back to something I think is fundamentally wrong. They don't see us as human beings. You can't. Because my thing is that there's a level of sympathy because if you in New York just a few weeks ago, a white woman cussed the cops out, was spitting next to him and everything.
Well, we've seen that before,
and they stayed calm, even though
police videos where it'd be like police craziest videos.
Yeah,
remember the guy got real high pitched voice. And he was like, and then he started ripping.
I'm about to say, ripped up the ticket and threw it at the cop.
Yeah.
And the cop threatened him, okay, I'm gonna give you a ticket for littering. But again, they didn't pull him out of the car. But 6 cops to take one elderly black woman out of the car.
I will say,
is disrespectful.
I heard the one cop talking to her rationally.
That was the first cop.
It wasn't all of them. It was kind of like the one who is on one came over. It's like the person who tried to instigate a situation that's not really that serious.
Ooh, she smacked you. Ooh,
she hit you with the door, dog. Like, so the one cop was just like, ma'am, and you could hear him.
But it still don't take 6 cops.
It doesn't.
I don't care if they all had flowers. It don't take 6 cops, and they all are suspended. Of course, with pay.
Of course.
You know, saying they look at an investigation. The only thing that the police chief said in the town was that the young gentleman that cussed at her that way is not. That wasn't a professional way to act. And so, we're going to wait and see and see how this thing pans out. But I wanted to start with that because we all have grandmothers, and I just can't see me doing that to an elderly person. So I think that if it was an elderly white woman, they would have handled it different. And I'm trying to say, because you always kind of tell me stay away from the black-white issue, but it has become apparent that we are not humans to them.
Away from it, because I know that it definitely happens. But like I said, you could see that the one cop had his good senses and the other cop was on one. Now, does it take 6? Never. And unfortunately, I've always said that when I see people get pulled over on the side of the road, I'm like, why is there 3 cop cars right here? Like, y'all don't have anything else to do? It's almost like they hear it come over the radio. There's a 9859 in progress. And then they all go, ooh.
And that's what I'm thinking is going on, because if you said a story last week about the I'm going to say Airbnb, what is it called, the B&B, the Airbnb, when that couple, the neighbor called the cops because she saw strange people coming out of the house. Oh,
because she saw the 3 women packing up their luggage, and then they took them 45 minutes to investigate and see why the women were there.
But the cop came up to them. I watched the video today and told them that, well, the neighbor said it was 3 black people. The messed up part about it was 4 people. 1 was white. And that was ironic that she only saw the 3 black people.
One white lady faded into that, like,
and they want me to believe that it's not racist. She wasn't, And here's the thing, though, they had 7 cop cars there, and you know how much money for 45 minutes.
Why 45 minutes for something that I could be like boop 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 on my phone and be like,
but the lady said in the interview, she said, well, I saw them coming and going. They never waved at me, so they wasn't neighborly, so I thought they were stealing. So you saw them coming and going. You didn't wave at them.
Wait a minute. And they came and they went and they came back, and you thought they were thieves. And not only
with
that,
suitcases.
But they had, that's what I was about to say too. Not only that, they had luggage. So you thought these were the most prima donna thieves.
I heard of being a hobo, but damn.
They were like, chick, we not just stealing and carrying it. We got to get this good luggage in here.
Yeah, but like I said, the lawyer for those 3 individuals looked up her social media, and she said when it comes out, you're going to be surprised, because she tried to say it wasn't racist.
I'm sure it was. So I'm going to skip ahead because I wasn't going to get to this story yet. So let's talk about the Florida cop. Let's talk about Scott Peterson real quick. Do you have that on there? And then I'll get back to what I was going to go to in the first place. But since we're talking about police officers, I figure we might as well just keep this going. For those of you who don't remember who Scott Peterson is, he's the Florida cop who was part of the Parkland shooting issue that took place a couple months ago, back in February. And he actually was talked about terribly because, unfortunately, he didn't do anything. He didn't go in to confront the gunman. Is that the cop that
skedaddled?
He skedaddled. He didn't go in to confront the shooter at all. So Now he's retired, just like you were talking about, and he resigned and retired, and he's getting $8,702.35 a month.
Wow.
As his state pension.
So being a coward kind of worked for him.
So if you look on the picture, you'll see him hiding behind some stuff. Like, he wasn't even like, I'm gonna be out here trying to see if I catch the dude. He was like, I guess he was like that white lady you said just a minute ago that the neighbor didn't see. He just kind of faded off. And he's only 55.
I'm still trying to figure out, like, what happened to when cops used to, they was actually there to protect and serve. They always worried about their lives. It's like the roles have reversed. Like, now we got to protect cops. Like, this shit, it's crazy. It's just like me going to, how I felt like if I go to McDonald's and they let me go back there and make my own burger. Now, I mean, it don't make sense. Your job is to protect and serve. When you sign up to give your life.
Now, I saw somebody on Twitter put it there. If you notice, the cars no longer say that. They no longer say
it don't. I remember that protect and serve. Yeah. It means just to serve.
They don't even serve. Not even serve. They took all of that off, and some of them do their job very well, because I've met some okay cops, but I've also met some that were not cool at all. The pension payments are based on the 32 years he worked and the average of the 5 highest paid fiscal years that he had. So that's why he gets to live high on the hog. I'm like, really?
He's not living that. Well, 8,000 a month.
8,000 in Florida?
You said 80,000 or 8,000?
I said 8,000.
A month? Yeah. That's pretty
not
decent.
just 8,000. $8,702.35 in Florida. That could get you a very nice little retirement village package.
Oh, he probably already got
a couple G's left over.
He probably already have a decent house over there that's almost paid off.
I'm saying,
got him a pickup truck.
Like, that's a good look. And please, now if he was in Manhattan, it wouldn't get him anywhere. He'd probably have a closet somewhere.
No, he'll be homeless. He'd be the most well-paid homeless cop in the history of New York City.
But in Florida, that can get you some places. So I'm here to tell you, though, people, in case you thought that the cop violence was just, a shame, we're here to say that it's not particular, that there are police officers and that nothing's safe, basically. Nothing's safe. So
I must say that when she gave me this photo, I was like, wow, groundhog lives matter. That's crazy.
In Carroll County, okay, in Maryland, a groundhog was walking onto the roadway.
Poor groundhog.
And it was causing vehicles to stop.
Wait a minute. How was he saying?
Causing vehicles to stop and creating a hazard. And the deputy got out of his vehicle to get the groundhog away from the roadway. But he says the groundhog was not acting normally.
Groundhog was threatening his life?
He was an erratic groundhog. It looked like he had a weapon. So
he had a bandana on. He might have had a gun in his tail.
He's throwing up his little paws.
Only in America, y'all. Only in America.
So the deputy got out of his vehicle, like I said. So since the groundhog wasn't being normal, he thought maybe it was sick or injured. So he shot it.
Wait a minute.
I'm sorry, and we're not against animals, because I love animals. I just have some butterflies in the class. We got fish. We got hamsters.
Michael Vick did jail time for some pit bulls.
For fighting them. All he did was fight him.
Yeah. He wasn't even there when it was happening.
The police got out of his car thinking that the groundhog wasn't acting like his normal groundhog.
He probably had allergies. I'm just looking at the bad allergy season. Eyes all buddy, bug and red, sneezing, nose all sniffed up.
The woman who put the Facebook video up says she didn't think it would take this turn. Really?
You never know when you call the cops what will happen.
Listen, when the cops show up with a gun, you don't know what turn it might take.
So as soon as it's now when you go into white establishments, they're quick to say if you show any inkling you're going to be a headache or something, I'm gonna call the cops, because they know once the cops come, if you're black, it's going to turn left. It can turn left.
Or if you a groundhog, shoot. And if somebody's shooting up the place and you're white, you might not get saved, because Parkland was a lot of white people, and he pieced them out and kept it moving.
But it was funny. You said that the lady said, I didn't think it was going to take that turn.
But then she also going to say she's sure the officer did the best thing in the situation.
Why? I don't understand some call. Don't they have to rescue people? I mean, they're going to throw, if I have a fur coat on, they're going to throw paint on my fur coat, but the cop can freely shoot a groundhog, and all the groundhogs do is trying to get back home to his wife and children. Because I'm gonna tell you, Sav has some. Miss Hope Wonder here has some groundhogs underneath her house.
First of all, I just saw one of the fattest ones I've ever seen come from the garden.
I've never seen groundhogs with stretch marks before. These things are huge.
It's so chunky that when it was waddling away, it tried to get away quickly, and I was like, "Boo boo, I see you. Do you see me? See you?"
She be throwing food out there, potato salad and bread and broccoli. These are the most high blood pressure, healthiest non.
It came from under the gate for the garden, and what's so funny is that they put that little fence thing around it, but they didn't put it on the door. So he squished every piece and particle of its body to slide under that door.
Oh, that's right, because they haven't even tended to the garden in a while. So all that food, all that vegetables and stuff, they was tearing them up.
That guy was like,
yo, that was like ShopRite for him. You know what I'm saying?
So he should have told his groundhog homie from Maryland to come over this way.
Nah, he should told that nigga to duck.
Don't call him a ninja.
All right, let's go to the next story. It's just sad, yo.
Oh, goodness. All right, so let us talk about Tidal. This wasn't a happy moment. So Tidal has now...
We went from a grandmother getting snatched out of the car to a groundhog getting shot.
Hey,
what a segue.
It gets real out here. Watch your back. Okay, so anyway, apparently there was supposed to have been an independent audit done of Tidal. And as you know, Tidal is owned by Jay-Z. So they're saying that their independent study found that Kanye West, The Life of Pablo, and Beyonce's Lemonade were grossly inflated.
Oh, no.
The number of times that it was streamed on Tidal. Grossly, like hundreds of thousands of plays. And they're saying that, they get paid from that.
Oh,
but that it wasn't true. And this is like a place, I don't know, out of like Denmark or something. Wow,
Jay-Z is having a bad week for him. The SEC is forcing him to show up in court again under court order. I think it was supposed to be today, Thursday, I think. If not Thursday, next Tuesday. But so they grossly inflated the numbers. But I'm trying to figure there's something called how they track music. They should have caught that, because Tidal don't have that many people subscribers.
Tidal denied the allegations, saying that it was a smear campaign made up of lies and
it's probably being spearheaded by Spotify, because they can't touch iTunes.
Why you gotta go there? We trying to get on Spotify. So the report,
you heard it first here, yo,
was produced in conjunction with Norwegian University of Science and Technology, based on data passed to the newspaper by an anonymous source.
Yeah,
that claimed that Tidal used genuine user accounts to significantly beat it up. It said more than 320 million false plays.
Wow. Yo, that's a lot of money.
Which generated massive royalty payouts at the expense of other artists. So,
wow.
I don't know how that's going to go down, but it doesn't sound good for the home team.
Well, like I said, you heard it first here on the KonnecT Show, because you remember when, I hate to bring this up, but when the YouTube shooter went into YouTube offices and shot, I was the first one to say she probably upset over something on her page, and sure enough, that's why she shot her. So we do have a level of insight on this show, just as a disclaimer. I'm highly intelligent, or highly guess-worthy, if you will.
Highly guess-worthy. I like it. To go over our news coverage.
We're going to go into the stalker.
Look, you know what scared me about this is that you just never know. You just never know.
So the next video we're going to play is a little snippet of the young lady who's accused of what, Sav?
She took stalking to a level that I just never thought possible.
I
Like,
actually read
how
some
do
of
you
those,
do?
It's ridiculous.
How do you send 65,000 text messages to a man that's you called your soulmate after one date?
Well, as a disclaimer, she did meet him on a millionaire website, so she wanted
Was
some.
it? I knew
wanted
it
some-
was online, but I didn't know where.
Yeah, it was one of the million. They went out on 3 dates or something like that, and she loved it.
From what I read, it was only one,
It was one date.
but maybe it was 3.
Well, let's listen to what she got to say.
Hi guys, I'm Jackie. Okay, you want to ask me questions?
Yeah, bitch,
Go ahead.
crazy.
Like, what's wrong with you?
I wound up here on a road trip from Florida, looking for, I guess, love. And I was following the number 33. I used to wake up every day and every night.
She hit some of that meth before she came
It
out.
was always 333, 3333. So I kept following the number, and I said, why? Why am I following the number 33? And I spoke to a psychic, and she told me,
Rest
I
that
have the
psychic.
same
Yeah.
birth chart as Jesus. So then I said, okay. I look up Jesus. He was 33 when he came to be. So I was like, that's a 33. My left eye axis is 33.
She said my left.
The location I came from in Miami was 33111, the zip code. This zip code here, not the coordinates on the map, it's 33111.
Did she just run a marathon?
Man who is related to your case.
Oh, Isaac Ben Shabbat. I met him online. I was looking for my healing angel. The psychic I met told me I would meet a healing angel. So
Who is this psychic?
I was in Utah, Mount Zion, looking for my healing angel.
Oh, she was in Florida. Oh, she came up from Florida. Why did
Okay,
she
that's
keep
enough for this
breathing like
show.
that?
I was at a bar,
Oh,
and I was talking
that's
to
your
the
first mistake.
bartender about the number 3, and I said, so the number 3, I told him the story how I got here, just because I got here, the number 3. And then he said not to say anything, but look behind me. And I looked behind him, and there's the giant number 3. So I was like, are you my healing angel? And he was like, no.
Lucky bartender. Lucky
And I
bartender.
said, okay, well, maybe you're going to lead me to my healing angel. So he said, you should probably go to Sedona. It's in Arizona. I said, I never heard of it. And I look up Sedona, Arizona. It's the 33rd most spiritual place. So I can't
Okay, that's enough, yo. All I know is Ohio needs to stop letting people out. They
She
need to
wasn't from Ohio. Don't
I'm
blame
sorry.
her that. Do not do that to her. Where is this chick
Shout out
from?
to my Ohio family. But I'm
Because
just
she
saying,
said she was.
Charlamagne the God, who's a friend of the show, he always saying that the craziest people come from Brooklyn and Florida. And ever since he said that, it just seems that is absolutely true. That is crazy.
But did she come from Florida?
Yeah, she says I don't know. She came. Yes, she came from Florida, or did she go to Florida? I don't know.
No,
Right.
she went to. She's from Arizona.
She ended up in Florida somehow. I don't know. Is that the 33rd state? I don't know.
How do you know what axis your eye is on? That was my question.
Well, she looked a little cross-eyed, so that she probably knew.
I've been getting glasses for years,
And
and
never
I
heard-
don't remember them ever saying the axis
Well, I
of
mean,
your eye.
you gotta have sight. I think that.
Okay, you're not gonna disinfect what is
I
going
think-
on behind these eyes, behind these lenses.
Give us some more information about this story. You want to?
So
She looks crazy even in a photo. Yo.
So
sorry.
sometimes she would send him up to 500 texts in a day. And one day the man came home and she was in the house. And when he called the police, she said she was his wife.
Matter of fact, she was in the tub when
In the
he came
tub.
home.
She was taking a bath.
Sudsy all that.
She wanted to get that cuckoo clean. So when he got there, he'd be like, I made a mistake. You know what? You're okay with me. So she would send him text messages like this. Oh, what I would do with your blood. I'd want to bathe in it. So So maybe she was getting ready for the bloodbath. I don't know. But she's facing charges of threatening and intimidating, stalking, and harassment. She's being held without bond. She says she didn't want to hurt him. She just sent the text messages because she didn't want him to leave.
She also sent the one that said she wanted to wear his skin.
So I'm going to tell you, special. My loves, text messaging 101. If you don't want somebody to leave, don't tell them things like you want to bathe in their blood and wear their skin. That's going to be lesson number 1.
Yeah.
And number 2 is don't send them up to 500 messages in a day. Now,
who got that type of time?
Where's your friends and your family? That's what I want to know. Because somebody knows what you're capable of. Somebody out there knew, like, my girl, she on one. It's not right.
Yeah, you don't get crazy like this overnight.
No. And with her talking about my eye is on his 33rd axis, and I was looking for the number 3, and Jesus was 33 years old. And then I saw the number 3 behind the bartender, and I was like, "Are you my soul?"
Hi, guys.
She just looked. Hi, guys.
I'm sorry. And the way she's smiling in her photos, like
she is absolutely.
Yes, I've been arrested. Good times.
Oh my gosh.
Like it's like she asked the prep, like, "Can I get my hair okay? In case my real soul angel sees my arrest pictures."
But I promise you, though, there's some fool out there that's looking at this and talking about, "Oh, she is gorgeous," and he's
and
gonna
that's
write
real
her letters.
love.
And you know what I'm saying? He's going to be, when she get out in 30 years, they're going to...
And that's real love. He like, I want somebody to love me like that.
That's right. Wear my skin.
Wear my skin, bathe in my blood, drive hours to come see me, send me 500 texts. That's how I know I'm the best.
You know that remind me of that astronaut that drove from Texas to Florida and she didn't stop to use the bathroom. She had the Depends on.
Yeah.
That's love.
She
was going to shoot the other lady. Did she shoot her?
I think she was trying to.
Yeah.
But a note to self is don't love me to death. Hate me to live. Like we don't have to go that far. Like
you know what, Miss Wonder, that could be a hell of a T-shirt.
Don't love me to death. Hate me to live. You know put that on the back. Hate me to live.
It's a conundrum because hating you to live is also a negative, but we'll get it.
Yeah, but I want to live. As long as I'm alive, that's all that matters. I don't need you,
Okay, what's the next story? Kevin Robinson? Kevin Robinson?
Kevin Robinson. I'm sure you heard of him.
No, I have not.
The young man who was choked by the police officers in Jefferson Parish, Louisiana.
Yeah, that's right.
That they said died of asphyxiation. And so here was the thing. When they first talked about the story, they were like, "Oh, he ran away from the cops in a car, and it was this crazy speed, this crazy chase." The other side of this story is they were in unmarked cars, and they weren't in uniform.
Oh, so he didn't know who they were.
Exactly. And he was 22. So you're at, you're doing your thing, and the narcotics detectives were the ones who actually, caught up with him and were in an unmarked car. But you're 22, you don't know possibly who these people are.
Right.
And you may have taken off before they even got a chance to identify themselves.
Right, thinking that you're about to be robbed or something.
Exactly. So then you catch up with them. They're mad because now you've put people in jeopardy, but you thought these were just two random not cop cars. You thought these were just two random cars coming for you.
Right.
And then, so you choked the baby out. And it happened at a gas station.
See, that's my point. I mean, they always say, let the court settle it. But that's only if it's on us. If it's on them, they settle it right then and there. They didn't have to kill that young man. If he committed a crime, the judge is supposed to sentence him. You don't sentence him on the street. Talking about justifying that's why they choked him to death. That's crazy. Death.
And then the thing about it was they did end up suing him, but I still, like I said, I'm still not sure with what was going on if he really understood who was chasing him. So he took off on foot. He jumped several fences. Deputies caught him in the backyard of a residential neighborhood. A struggle ensued. Deputies eventually handcuffed him. Once he was in handcuffs, that's when they're saying that the detectives noticed that he wasn't breathing and that they tried to administer CPR. He was taken to a hospital where he eventually passed. And the agency doesn't have body cameras or dash cameras. And so, you know, it's the officer's word against ultimately what happened when they put him in a chokehold. So what is happening now, you said what happened?
They missed a few steps talking about, a struggle in the struggle. That's much where he died, because they say a struggle ensued. So that means that, they just got him handcuffed and then they found out he wasn't breathing. You had to be choking him the whole time.
And
it's
you
so
had,
sad.
I mean, obviously hard enough for him to pass away. Like,
That's
duh.
crazy.
So this wasn't just a gentle, we're just trying to get you to stop struggling. No, you had to have him by his throat, squeezing the crap out of him.
Yep.
And like you just said, let the court deal with that. Like, if you felt like he shouldn't have ran away from you, I get it. Put that as one of your charges, that he tried to evade arrest or whatever. But
this
don't kill him.
And this reminds me of Judge Dredd. That's what they're doing. They're doing justice on the street, because you got to make them work at their job. They're going to kill you.
Yeah, because they
And
had to run.
And this is not happened. And again, this has not happened to young white children.
No, it doesn't.
So when you want to say, y'all playing a race card, that's the only card y'all give us. If you give us the other 53 cards, I'm sorry, 51 cards, sorry.
Oh,
I
poor
forgot how
baby
many
trying to
cards.
count. So they're now making arrangements for the 22-year-old. And I'm sure
Shout out to Kevin Robertson and his family.
I'm sure that there's going to be some marching, some protesting.
The struggle is real. They're doing the march. Matter of fact, my son was on the Breakfast Club this morning talking about the march they're doing for the young lady at the Waffle House in that small town in Alabama, I believe it is.
Well, at least she lived.
They would sexually assaulted her. She got bruises on her vagina, her breast.
She's got bruises on her vagina?
Yeah, they were because when you see the video, I wish we still had it up. Cops were coming in just to stare at her body because her titties was all out, and she was on that nasty floor, and there were people watching it, black people, but they realized it's nothing you can do, because if you say something, you're going to go to jail or they're going to shoot you. They're trying to train our mindset, because let's talk about the two gentlemen who got all that money from Starbucks, the two gentlemen from Philly.
Oh, yeah.
They donated a lot of the money to other charities, though. But if you saw when the cops came, they didn't struggle. They didn't say a word. They just smiled, put their hands behind their back, and walked out, because they knew that this situation could be an explosive.
And they could die.
If they would say, we didn't do anything wrong.
If you say anything.
Anything. And they got 3 charges on this young lady after she was dragged and choked and beat on the floor. They charged her because one of the cops hurt his hand. I mean, this is asinine. This is America.
I don't
Shout
know
out
why
to
y'all keep
Childish
saying it
Gambino.
like America ain't backwards.
Well, you remember they said that one of Trump things, let's make America great again, and they're doing it. White people are still trying to be superior. They're doing anything they want to do with us, and all we can do is protest. One thing that my son Wenham said today is that you can hurt them financially, but Waffle House in the South is the spot after the club. That's the only thing that's open.
Well,
but you got to make so maybe a black person open up something, in their basement.
That could be competitive.
Yeah,
because after Denny's got into their little racial trouble,
they straightened up. We was in West Virginia. We went into a Denny's. Man, they was like, "Hello, hi, wow." And that's West Virginia. They was happy to see Negroes.
I would not be going to West Virginia as a Negro. But anyway, so let's get into Aaron Schlossberg. Now, Aaron Schlossberg, I heard
Jewish young man. Huh?
I don't know, but I heard Charlamagne start talking about this story earlier, and I didn't get a chance to actually hear his donkey of the day. He gave him donkey of the day, but then I watched the video, and I was like, oh, that's why he got it, because this was stupid. So he's actually a lawyer in New York. He goes into this little restaurant, and let me see what the name of the restaurant is, because I want to get this correct. He went into Fresh Kitchen in Manhattan. So he goes in there, and there's an employee. Now, I've read two different accounts to this story, but either way, it didn't make no sense. But anyway, so one account was that the employee was talking Spanish to a customer.
Right.
Another account was that an employee was speaking Spanish to another employee. Either way, he breaks down, says that they should be speaking English. He's going to get them kicked out of my country, quote unquote, for speaking Spanish to each other. They need to speak English. He's going to call ICE.
Wow.
It just was like, seriously. Now, the thing that makes this so crazy, had you been in one of these other states, okay, you're in Manhattan in New York.
The most
like diverse.
It's the
city.
United Nations of the world. I could see if you was in Oklahoma, but
thank you. Which was my point exactly. Like, were you in Nebraska at the time?
Yeah.
No, you were in New York. Like, you really should relocate to like Montana. Seriously, because if you're gonna be in New York going off about people who speak Spanish, well, just you wait till they start speaking Korean, Chinese, Creole,
Haitian.
Like, well, that's why I said Creole.
all the African dialects, because even my man from Wakanda went there. Wakanda. You know what's crazy, and I kind of understand what Schlossberg is saying. I don't agree wholeheartedly, but the folks that I'm doing some consultant work for, like maybe 80% of their staff that's in the warehouse area speak Spanish. Nobody speaks English. There's two Spanish-speaking supervisors trying to maintain all of this. Also, you have English workers working there who are frustrated because they have to find them to tell the other 70-something people to do something.
And if that was his issue,
right? I mean, that's what my
but
thing.
That wasn't his issue.
Well, no, this is totally separate. But I'm just saying about something about not speaking English. I think that I understand having your culture. Don't forget your culture. I get that. But try to learn the language. I mean, I'm trying to learn Spanish. They teach me Spanish. I try to teach them English phrases so we can better communicate. I use tambien now. I still don't know what it means, but when I use it, they laugh. So.
And they probably laugh because it's tambien, not tambien.
Well, they say tambien. So I don't hear tambien. They don't say tambien. But I guess my point is, I don't agree with him. When they say it quickly,
it's like tambien.
I don't agree with him because they were just speaking Spanish. I think that, but again, as far as communication worthiness, it's kind of difficult to go to places where they don't understand you. You're trying to spend money with them and they don't understand you. So I do get his frustration, but he did it wrong.
Okay, so let me just reiterate the fact that nobody was speaking to him. So
exactly.
It
That's
wasn't
what I said.
That he went in and they were speaking so much Spanish in here that they couldn't talk to him and take his order and fulfill his order in English.
He just was walking by.
He heard two other people speaking to each other in Spanish and felt some kind of way. Now, to me, it's an insecurity. Just like when I have, friends who are like, I go into the nail shop and they all talking to each other and whatever it is, Korean, Vietnamese. But my thing is, I'm not worried about what they're saying to each other because 9 times out of 10, let's say I got my earplugs on. Let's say I'm talking to one of my friends. Mm-hmm. Girl, he said, "What's you acting all extra cheeky like that? That is something that you can't even stand for. You feel me? Like, that's just uncomfortable business right there. And you need to give them the business next time you see me." They don't know what I'm talking about. Like, they understand business, but they wouldn't have a clue as to what I just was saying.
I've been black for longer than 2 weeks, and I don't understand a damn word you just said. I'm trying to figure out. I heard you say something about business, but nobody's passing out business cards. There's no contract.
And my point isn't that I could pick up on Vietnamese, but what I'm also saying is that we all have different ways of communicating that other people may not understand. True. If I go in and I'm talking my hood dialect to somebody, I don't expect for Mr. Aaron Schlossberg and friends to be like, "Oh, you need to speak adequate English, the King James version." Like, I don't know how to, because I do. It's I'm not talking to you, so why should I?
But you're absolutely right. And I don't want to get it construed what I was saying earlier. I was just trying to convey my frustration in a certain scenario. His scenario, if I'm rocking by and I see two Nigerians speaking, I am not offended. I'm kind of jealous in a way. I'm kind of envious because
they have their own
language. Our language is more just breakdowns of the English
but
language.
It's amazing because we constantly have to put other people up on our breakdown of the English language.
Well, black people are culture. We are the culture. We're the culture. We're the heartbeat of this country, really of the world, because we bring culture to everything. We bring coolness to everything. And this is why I just did a all-white corporate event, karaoke, in New York, in Jersey City rather, but they came from New York, and I was the only black guy in the hall. And it was like maybe 150 to 200 people, and they were all concerned about how I thought they danced. It blew my mind. Like, what? I'm an employee right now. I'm just playing the music. I really don't care if y'all can dance or not, you know. But they were down there trying. It took about maybe an hour after they got so many of those damn martinis and shots of Grey Goose in them that they started to not care anymore. But
that's like again, when I've worked at several places and I've got white girls trying to let me know that hell no, I've hurt a broad's feelings.
The struggle is real for black women, though.
Don't you ever touch my fucking hair.
The struggle is real.
Don't ask me questions about it either. Don't ask me if it's mine. Don't ask me what type of hair it is. Don't ask me if it's a weave, if it's an extension. One white girl the other day was showing me that she had hair glued in individually to strands. Okay, thank you, Kara. But at the end of the day, don't ask me about what's happening with my hair. Don't worry about it. You do you, I'm going to do me. But anyway, and that's not to say for people that I'm friends with, because I am friends with some people and I don't mind talking to them about whatever I'm doing with it. But other people, strangers, oh, hell no. Katie, don't touch my hair. But no, they want to tell me how, yeah, I dated this black guy.
You know,
okay.
the next time I'm at the mall or hanging out and I see a bunch of black women, I'm just going to go up to them like, I don't appreciate that you're not real. You need to get your real hair.
You're going to get jumped. Before you can even finish that sentence, you're going to mess around and get jumped. You know you ain't saying that to nobody.
Let's go to the next, especially no black women, not a group of them.
Not a group of them. Yeah, like, you might spot that off with like one of them before she can catch you. But anyway, let's talk about Kellogg and Venezuela. Oh, I forgot to tell you, Aaron Schlossberg is like 44 and he just got kicked out of his workspace. And then a congressman filed a formal complaint to the state court system about his license. So
wow. So
he got his own issues. He might want to calm down because they're coming.
They're coming for you, son.
They're coming for you. You picked the wrong city to pull that one in. I'm telling you.
And you said Henrietta Lacks?
No.
Oh, what'd you say?
What? Kellogg.
Okay, I don't have a photo for Kellogg.
Well, then you need to find it on that flash drive I gave you because I sure downloaded one and it was funny and it was kicks.
And that's not on your paper.
It definitely is. Mm-hmm. It says it right here.
Apologize.
Boink. Thank you. I need you.
I thought that was Scott Peters.
Really? 2 lines? Anyway, we got to get is your eye on the 33rd axis?
On the last axis, the final axis.
So when I tell you this story, that's what's about to make this picture so funny. And I got this picture off of lavanguardia.com. Okay. So Venezuela seized the plant owned by Kellogg. Down. I'm
about to say they look a little Latino over there, you know what I'm saying, in the background.
So Kellogg said it was going to pull out of the country because of the economic situation. And
yeah, it's bad over there.
They said that it was pretty terrible, that it's not a good look.
And I'm just, not to break you up, but that's a precursor of what's going to happen in America in the next 3 years. So just get ready for it.
Well, because of soaring inflation and lack of raw materials, Kellogg was like, deuces. So then the government was like, no deuces, because we just going to keep this plant going.
Oh, wow. Wait a minute. So they took the plants. They still making Frosted Flakes over there?
The factory has been handed over to workers and will continue production. And they probably won't be Frosted Flakes. They'll probably be El Fleques. No, I'm just joking.
That's so racist.
I do speak some Spanish, but I don't know how to say. Okay,
El Fleques? Really?
Let me see how you say
It's not important. We ain't got that type of time or
And
apparatus.
I
We gotta
just
keep the show
closed
going.
out of the whole thing. But
We got to keep this thing going. Ain't got time for you to worry how to
I
flake it.
just- but if I was Puerto Rican, that's probably how they say it, because you know they Spanish be like sometimey. It be real sometimey with they Spanish. But yeah, so they took it over and they handed it to the workers. And so now the cereal that's going to be produced is no longer going to be the traditional American version of the Kellogg cereals. It's going to be rebranded as a generic brand.
You better check the ingredients.
Why you got to check them? Well, yeah, it said it was hard
If they
to get
have
raw
raw materials, they probably got. They ain't got no corn either, because they would sell that to eat.
They don't have. They probably got corn or wheat or something. They gotta have something.
It's in Spanish is copos del helado.
No, let me see. Copos de helado. Helado is like ice cream.
But that's what it said it is. Frosted.
Oh, that's what it is. Copos de helado.
So shout out to our Latino family.
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Bling bling.
So yeah, they about to have some copos de helado down in Venezuela, and that's what made this picture so funny with Tony the Tiger trying to looking from the outside like
We're
we're
used to be great.
now we are nothing.
Nothing.
All right, so now we're gonna talk about Henrietta Lacks. I just thought that was so gangster though, that the government could come in taking over other people's companies. Like they like, no, we can't do this anymore. No problem. We got all your equipment. All of these workers know how to make the stuff that's in here. Because it was like over 500 workers. So they was just like, you know how to keep this going? We got you. Anyway, so according to the Smithsonian Institute, next Tuesday, a national portrait gallery will recognize and honor the life of Henrietta Lacks with a portrait by Kadir Nelson. And it'll be on the wall on the first floor. Now, in case you don't know who Henrietta is,
I damn sure don't have a clue.
which I didn't know until I saw a Law and Order episode one day. She's being known as
The DNA lady.
Yes.
Yes, I remember Oprah Winfrey was talking about her.
Yes.
I don't watch Oprah, fellas. I'm
Yeah,
gangster.
of course you do, because
I'm
you
gangster,
just said
you know what I'm
that
saying?
real
I
quick.
don't get down like that.
Yeah, so she's being hailed as the mother of modern medicine. Now, at the time, she lost her life to cervical cancer. She was 31 and she was a mother of 5. During her treatment, doctor took cells from her body, discovered that they had lived long lives and reproduced indefinitely in test tubes. So they've contributed to over 10,000 medical patents.
Wow, that's a lot. And this has been since 1950 something, I think. It's been quite a long time.
Oh yeah, it was a long, long time when she passed away. I got to see when it was exactly that she passed. But yeah, that's a lot of medical. That's a lot of money that was made off of her, and it including patients from suffer with polio, AIDS, Parkinson's disease, and all kinds of other conditions. Now, the history of medical testing, this is why I had a conversation not too long ago with someone, and we cool, you know, that's my people.
Is she a nurse?
No,
I know you remember the
conversation.
conversation you had with the nurse about the I'm sorry.
I'm not sure, but the guy was telling me he felt some kind of way that he had helped organize a mobile medical station to go into the nearby town, and that most people didn't show up of color, that it was mainly white people who went. And I was
wow.
if you knew our history with doctors and medical staff, this wouldn't even really be a conversation between us. Because if you knew about the Tuskegee experiments, which I ended up explaining, if you knew about how they were giving, they were making women sterile in Alabama.
Yeah, through the what they call like the hygienics, I can't even think of it, but which became later the Planned Parenthood, the Eugenics Society.
And then things like this, where you're taking her cells without her permission, which goes to
regenerating
ethics,
them over
privacy,
for tens and tens of years.
Going into ethics, privacies, racism, all of that good stuff. So, like you said, Oprah Winfrey adapted her story into a theatrical movie that aired on HBO back in 2017. So shout out to Henrietta.
Well, we got a breaking story that just hit the news, according to our competitor, TMZ.
That's our competitor. No, I wouldn't say that because we do actual news. Not that they don't, but there's oftentimes the celebrity news.
Well, as we know, Cardi B and Offset has been in the news lately.
I'm talking about that.
No, this is something totally different.
I'm talking about this. At the end of the show.
Oh,
I already had this information.
Oh,
That's
okay.
why I had you download the picture. So
of Cardi B and
Offset. Yes, that's why I had you.
So you know about this?
Yes,
Okay.
that's why I had you
I'm
download
sorry,
the picture.
There is no news, according to her. I guess it'll be fine. But we gotta hurry this thing up now. We're getting to the end.
Oh, now that he want to break in with his breaking news and it's not breaking.
No, I'm just looking. We only get 60 minutes in. We've been doing it for 57 now.
Oh, well.
Time goes by when you're having a good time, though.
Stevie Wonder.
Okay, let's make this quick.
Stevie Wonder announced that he's doing positive concerts to counter confusion like Kanye West foolishness.
Shout out to Stevie, though. We need that right now. We need an ambassador of non-craziness.
So you know who Stevie was. We all do it. And he said to counter widespread confusion and the surge of hate around the globe, his first order of business was to perform a series of positive shows, according to the Associated Press, which went to his recent Hollywood performance because he had a birthday recently.
Yeah, I seen some pictures. He's still holding on to them braids, and I'm talking about his hairline is like back here. Somebody need to tell Stevie to let that go. Let's go on to the next story.
Now, somebody threw in Kanye West, but he didn't specifically say Kanye West. Let me just put that out there, too. They just put that in a couple titles. They just put that through internet. Anyway, Black Klansman gets a standing ovation at the Cannes Film Festival. Now, Spike Lee actually directed this. He got the director himself, Spike Lee, got a 6-minute standing ovation.
That's what's up.
At the
Spike
festival.
still got it. He just don't do no movies no more, but he got it.
So the movie tells the true story of an undercover African-American detective and his Jewish partner who team up to infiltrate the Ku Klux Klan in 79. Now, I'm trying to figure out how the Ku Klux Klan
Gonna feel about this.
how did y'all not see this black man coming as the person who met that?
Well, but here's what's ironic about that particular time, 1979. According to the FBI, starting in 1974, 75, that's when the Klan started to infiltrate the police departments all around this country. So by 1980, and between 1980 and 1990, they said that the Klan was no longer viable as a group, but yet they were viable as a group as cops. So that is a kind of ironic thing going on there.
Why it's us grandmas and groundhogs getting shot. Okay, so then they were saying that
So
throughout the movie that one KK member talks about embracing an American first policy, and it makes parallels between the rise of Trump and the political ambitions of former Grand Wizard David Duke. So I am interested in seeing.
I can't wait to
how this goes down.
Yeah, that should make just as much money as Black Panther, but it won't.
I was about to say I don't know if that's going to take place.
Okay.
But the thing about it, the reason that the picture that I had put up made the parallel with him and my man over there,
Jordan Peele,
is because they're two African American directors
and
hitting on two very important issues and topics.
That's what's up.
Okay, now let's talk about Sherry Silver. Now, Sherry Silver is actually 23, and she's the choreographer behind Childish Gambino's "This Is America" video.
That's what's up. That is what's up, man. Do I have the applause button? No, I don't have it.
What
on
happened
your thing.
to it?
It's on the other screen. You know what?
Well, if anybody saw "This Is America," you should know how this is. How popular the video has gone, and what a big deal this was. This video. But the choreography is amazing, and I'm wondering if she did his.
Yeah, all I know is that people are still watching it to get all the symbolism. That song it premiered #1 on the Billboard. The video has got so many. I think it's up to 100 million, if not more, hits on YouTube. So shout out to Childish Gambino, and I caught up to it with Atlanta last night. Matter of fact, and that show is just amazing. Now we're gonna go into Nicki Minaj.
Nicki Minaj is supposed to be on Saturday Night Live soon. And she was supposed to be at an after party at Score Strip Club in the Chelsea district, but they had to move it to a bigger venue because so many tickets were being requested. So the ticket prices are $40 now for women, $60 for men, and it'll be at the Highline Ballroom that can hold up to 700 people.
Yeah, that's a huge ballroom there in New York.
Now, if you want a table next to Nikki, it's going to be about $20,100 per ticket.
$20,100? That's a very odd number.
Woo!
That's a very odd number. Just make it 20,000 even. What's the 100 gonna do for me?
And I heard that there was a 1,000 fee to process it, but I guess if you got 20 G's, what's another 1,000?
Yeah, it's not gonna bother
just to sit in the chair next to her. I mean, sit on the table next to her. All right, so now let's put up this
YouTube.
Yes. Let's put up this YouTube streaming. So YouTube is trying to get his hands in a little bit of everything. Now, with Tidal having its issues, talking about fake streaming, that went down with Spotify where they said they weren't going to play R. Kelly's music anymore. Right. Or, what's his name? Annexion. Because of some abusive things he had done. YouTube Music is about to try to do some streaming, and it's going to be like $9.99 a month for a subscription.
I'm wondering who have.
They're going to offer free
videos. Well, the videos are free already.
Well, yeah, but it'll be ad free. That
wow,
the accounts.
Now that might be worth it as a DJ. That just might be worth it. And I think with YouTube, maybe with Spotify. I never use none of them, so I don't know if Spotify. Can you type in an artist and get one particular song?
I'm not sure. I know you can download stuff for free though.
Oh, okay.
And then also YouTube Red is going to be rebranded as YouTube Premium, and existing customers could have their monthly fee increased to $11.99.
That's not bad. They got some good shows on YouTube Red.
That subscription will also include access to YouTube Music.
Ad free.
I do believe it's ad free.
All right. Well, let's finish.
Because it said offer free ad supported accounts, but that doesn't make sense.
Okay.
It would make more sense for it to say they offered ad free accounts.
We'll call YouTube and find out. Let's talk about T.I. and finish this show off.
Oh, T.I. Did you hear he got arrested the other day?
Yeah, and he did the right thing. He was definitely in the right.
So if you saw the video that just was recently released on TMZ, you'll see that T.I. really was very calm and collected when he was trying to figure out why he got arrested in the first place. So if you didn't hear about it, what happened was he goes to his home, can't get in because it's a gated community.
He lost his key or left his key at the house.
Something happened with the key, so he's talking to the security guard, who T.I. says was asleep at first.
Right.
Then he says, so the security guard is saying he said, hook me up. But T.I. said he in fact said, look me up.
Because T.I. is not a person to talk hood like that. That's not his, T.I. is very, very concise with his language.
So then the guard is saying he couldn't find T.I. in the directory.
Because his name is Clifford Jack, whatever.
So I'm sure he told him that though. So T.I.'s wife, Tiny, called the security guard to give him permission. The guard then reportedly shouted at Tiny, who the F do you think you talking to like this?
Right.
Because Tiny probably was like, let him in. Right. You know who he is.
Well, according to T.I., she called back and said, and asked him what's taking so long. And that's when he went off on her, whatever.
And then T.I. got upset and told the guard, yo, I pay you. And so he gets home, but then he goes back.
Because I guess after he talks to Tiny and she's like, yo, he was real disrespectful. Now he got to go, do something for her honor.
So he goes back. The security guards call the police. So T.I. is asking in the surveillance footage, which TMZ know they reach out.
They got that money
for them to get a damn video from surveillance from the police department that shows him just asking the cop, because the cop is like, well, you shouldn't have went back. He's like, why shouldn't I have gone back? I'm a tax-paying citizen. I'm paying enough money to stay here that I should know why I can't get into my house.
Right.
when I pull up to the security guard. So I thought he was right, and that he definitely should get that security guard fired.
But the security guard, of course, he felt like he was going to be punched. So he got arrested for simple assault, and there was no
even
bail.
Though he didn't do anything. And
no
I
bail.
would definitely. But T.I. has been organizing now enough people.
Oh,
for
yeah.
other events and demonstrations.
Oh yeah, he's
that
gonna
he knows who to get in touch with. I'm sure he could get that man fired.
Oh yeah, this is small potatoes. I'm just glad he's not on parole or probation anymore. So
and I'm glad he's still alive.
So we're going to end the show with Cardi B and Offset. But before we do that, I'm going to say my goodbyes. I'm going to tell you folks that it was a wonderful, wonderful day in the KonnecT Show neighborhood. I really appreciate you guys listening to us or watching us on YouTube, of course. And remember, hit that subscribe button. And we got some special surprises coming out with some live events, live cookout events, with some wonderful streaming that we're going to do. And with that being said, matter of fact, I just got my computer back a few days ago. It's up, it's running on perfect memory. I got 28% of GPU being used, which last week it was 98%. My computer was shutting down. So I got my CPU upgraded to the max. So we're definitely going to do a lot of live streaming now. So with that being said, we're going to leave you with Saf and her wonderful final story.
So Offset got into a car crash recently, actually last night when he was in Atlanta. And he was taken to the hospital and released shortly thereafter. So it wasn't a big deal. He got into a car crash. But Cardi B did meet him at the hospital. Law enforcement said no police or emergency workers were called to the scene and no accident report was taken. So I guess nobody will really know the details in which, everything happened. But Cardi did say the couple had been shopping recently for houses in Atlanta. And she told Howard Stern, it's more than a relationship. We're planning to build a really big future. So don't forget, we all know that she's pregnant. And I'm sure with some of the other things they have going on, this was just a pain in the butt because there's a lawsuit right now. Now, supposedly, someone wanted to get an autograph, a professional autograph. And this was after the Met Gala that I was talking about the other day. That guy is now suing because he's saying he was beaten up. And so we're going to see what what comes out of that. But, he was trying to get an autograph. Cardi, Offset didn't want to give him one. And apparently he was being annoying and harassing. And Offset something similar to, get out of here, Ninja. I will slap the ish out of you. Shut up before Ninja beats you out here. And then he got beat. So hopefully, that didn't actually happen. And then, it turned out too bad because his lawyers are saying he was beaten to a pulp by Cardi B and Offset's people.
Well, I am DJ Ra.
I am Sapphire Hope Wonder. This is the KonnecT Show on Wu-Tang Radio.
Until next week, peace, love.
Toodles. Was that the remix though? I thought you was playing the outro. Just play that damn outro. Oh no, that was